Welcome to TradersArmy.com, defending your right to build wealth and preserve capital for generations to come. Hey everybody, welcome to the weekend edition of the Daily Market Commentary. I'm your host, Chuck Fulkerson. Hope everybody had a great weekend as we are about to lead into another fine week of trading. For those of you new to the channel, do me a favor, click that subscribe button down below and you will be able to get the updates as these videos come available. For those of you that are new, we also look at the same 10 to 12 futures markets every day, identifying potential breakout trades and turning points. So let's go ahead and dive right in. S&P this evening is up about 3.5 points from the open. Not a whole lot of change from the opening period. I was a little concerned that we may get a little bit of a reversal off of the origin of this strong move down right through here. That has not come to pass. Matter of fact, I think that we are... we're setting up for a nice little potential pullback. Here on the 4-hour chart, we've got this little rally, this long wick up, came back down, and then a strong rally higher. So I think that we may have a potential right in there. Move that down to the hourly chart. There could be a little reversal point right through here. And so I'm going to put this one on for now if we get a pullback into this in the overnight hours. Now, we do still have a dashed purple line up above us. Now, since it's a purple line, we know that it is on a 15-minute time period. But if you notice, I'm going to go all the way back to a 180-day chart. And that 15-minute time period was found way back here. This was really the origin of, when the market really started its move down. So it's fairly low probability. And I'd be okay if somebody said, I don't know if I like that level. It's got to be a confirmation style of an entry based on where it is. So for right now, I have this little area here for a potential reversal, 28.31, 28.28. So fairly small zone in there. If we get a little bit of a pullback early in the day, there may even be a little opportunity right here to get long. On the NASDAQ is coming close to the origin of this very strong drop. We've got this as a dashed line only because we're close to the all-time high. So, I'm always very cautious shorting at or near the all-time high, and that's what we have here in the NASDAQ. But I don't have as clear of a level on the reversal as I do in the S&P. So I've got the S&P long set up, but not the NASDAQ long going into the week. Crude oil. So crude oil, we hit into our crude oil level and bounced around, got a little move down out of it. For those of you that weren't willing to hold it over the weekend, maybe you closed it out. It still may roll down from here. I would be, frankly, I'd be moving my stop down to about break even at this point since I haven't gotten a big move out of it. I think that it probably makes sense if we've not gotten a very strong move out of it. Maybe you got a little bit before the weekend and close it out, but we haven't gotten a strong move out of it, so I'm going to kind of leave that one be. And then gold popped right through our level earlier in the week, and we were unable to kind of hold that, so I'm going to get rid of this one. Remember, 15-minute levels are always lower probability, so where oil picked up a profit, gold had a tiny loss, and remember that was on the 15-minute chart. So now, why did that level not work, right? We had that was off of this area here on the 15-minute, was off of this. Well, the answer is sometimes they're just not going to. Sometimes they're just not going to work. And this, this was a fairly nice move down, but we just popped up above it and then just came back down through it. So it didn't come to fruition on us. So now what am I looking at for the rest of the day? Well, I've got a pretty good reversal up here for the hourly chart. I actually like this level a lot. If indeed we make it back up to there, we could actually be a decent little long. This is a pretty good setup. I don't really spend too much time on Fibonacci extensions, but this for those of you that trade the Fibonacci extensions, this is about a 38.2 retracement of this move right there. Now, I'm not a huge Fibonacci trader. Those of you that know how often I trade know that Fibonacci's are not typically my style. But this is a pullback to the 38.2 retracement for those of you that are. And I think there's enough algorithms out there that do trade in that style. And you see we're reversing at the 23.6. Well, typically this would be a pretty good extension move up to the 61.8. And at that 61.8, we have a little bit of a fair price value area. So for those of you that do use it, there's enough, I guess, systems traders that do. I do not. It's not really huge into my repertoire, but I wanted to at least bring it up since I did notice that as a potential. Looking at the bond markets and then our currencies. So in our bonds, we have rallied back up. We did not break below our potential breakout line, so still kind of in between some areas in bonds. So not a whole lot to add or to talk about inside of there. You know, I really want to try to stick to the more high probable levels, and I don't have any in between there at the moment. In the Aussie, we hit our Aussie level, started to move away from it, came back. Very well may have stopped out on this one, not sure, depends on your risk tolerance. We did get a nice little 2-to-1 move out of it, so my guess is many of you probably moved your stop to break even at that point, or at least maybe even took some profits off the table. At 2-to-1 is not typically not a bad idea to take some money off the table when it presents itself. Now, what we're kind of setting ourselves up for is I see that we've got some lower swing highs. These lower swing highs in the context of after this big move up, if we do get a breakout above there, I think there's room for it to run even up to the 74.37 area. Inside of the euro. Now, the euro, when I look at the 4-hour chart, we're still chopping around, basing sideways, but that when I go even to a bigger chart like the daily, that base has been there quite a while, and breaking below that base would be a strong weak point. I mean, look at it on the weekly. If I look at it even on the weekly, breaking below this area could take us all the way down to 112. So your European vacations could get a little less expensive if you're an American. Your American vacations can get a little more expensive if you're a European. If we break down into this area right here. Next, Canadian dollar. So in the Canadian, we've just kind of continued this march up. It's been a slow, steady march. As we connect these highs, we are kind of in a little bit of a trend channel. Now, this is connecting the highest highs and the lowest lows on the wicks. But there's a little bit of a trend channel here. And so this trend channel, if we believe that it's got a chance at continuing up, you might want to look for a little reversal right in here. It's a very small level, but we may get a little reversal right in there and a chance to get long. Oops, and I hit the on-demand button. Sorry about that. One of the good features is the ability to backtest using the on-demand. One of the bad features is that it's right in the middle of the screen when I go to hit things. All right, we're back to normal. Last but certainly not least, Great British Pound, Japanese Yen. We are coming close to a potential reversal here in the pound. Now that reversal on the pound was set up on a much bigger time period, right? Look, it was on the daily chart. So on the daily chart, certainly you have to go back in and see what fits your risk parameters. But overall, that level is still a valid level. Matter of fact, let me maximize that a little bit, make it much bigger, and we will go back. Let's see. Let's go back 180 days on the 4-hour chart to see when that was formed. And we've actually got to go back even further than that. So it's far enough back that I'm even having a hard time going back to find it because we're going way back to find it. But that definitely is a little fair price value area before a pivot low, which is typically one of my preferred setups. Now that is very counter trend, right? Look at our daily chart. All right, it's very counter trend, but this is where, if you do catch this and it starts to rocket back up, this can be a pretty profitable trade. So this might be an opportunity if you're going to use daily charts to do candle to candle style of trading. Japanese yen, we still have a level down here where there's a potential reversal on the 60-minute chart. Nothing that I love really above us at all because of this high wick right here wiping a lot of things out. And then in copper, we've got a level up here that we've not quite come to yet. So all in all, hopefully we have a great week. I am actually traveling this week. I'm in California. And I will be, so the daily market commentary may be out a little bit later in the mornings for the rest of the week, just based on time. So until next time, I will see you soon.